Welcome to On the Track with Mr. Lee, the podcast where it's always going down.
What up? This Mr. Lee, man. Welcome to my podcast. I've been going back and forth on how I'm going to start this podcast and what I'm going to do with it and what the purpose is. And I think, with everything going on around Texas right now and just the world period, we have so many different things that are causing so many distractions. As everybody know, unless you've been under the rock, about the Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf tragedy that happened out in Frisco, Texas. There's been a lot of nonsense that's been tied to this terrible incident. And it's become a white and black thing instead of a tragedy and somebody losing their lives. Everything is black and white. And of course, that's, what we are used to seeing in these type of situations. A couple of years ago, there was a fatal stabbing in a city in North Texas. I forgot what the name of the city was or is, but there was a tragic stabbing at a school up there with a young man that's on trial at this moment. Kind of the same type of situation where he got in a fight with a Latino kid and killed a Latino kid. In this situation, the Latino kid, Rodriguez, was stabbed several times. I don't recall no marches and protests. I don't recall any complaints about this young man getting out of jail when he had $1 million bond and his bond was reduced to 175. I never heard anything, any outrage about that whatsoever. But in this case, you have a black Republican judge, might I add, being harassed for following the guidelines of the law as she reduced Anthony's bond to $250,000, which is $75,000 less than Allison's bond was when it got reduced. I don't recall hearing any type of stance on putting him back in jail. He shouldn't be out on bond and yada, yada, yada. Don't hear anything. And I'm only bringing this up to present the contrast of how these things work. You have a lot of people that are monetizing off the death of Austin Metcalf and the really bad situation that Karmelo Anthony has put himself in. They're monetizing and making money off of it. They're causing a whole bunch of rhetoric, a whole bunch of unnecessary rhetoric with this ordeal. And the two families that are caught in the middle of all of this trash can't even deal with it correctly. The father and the mother of Metcalf can't even grieve the way that they want to grieve because they're on guard with the swatting and all of the comments going back and forth to the Hayes family, everything that they're dealing with also. And these families are having a very hard time because of all the ridicules and the judgments and the horrible things that they're talking. I just don't ever see this. I didn't see where the FSU shooter that killed 2 people and shot 6 other people, I didn't hear all of these adjectives about him being a thug, a murderer, cold-blooded, this and that. I didn't hear any of things. Megyn Kelly, why haven't we heard you say anything about that? Why we haven't heard this strong language and the adjectives that you are using to describe that young man in the same way that you are describing Karmelo Anthony? But you want to say quickly that there's no racism in this. This is not about race, but you guys are making it about race. The parents that's caught in the middle of this tragedy are not making this about race. You guys are making it about race. You're more concerned about what past the spokesman have and had than you are about trying to understand and having a rally that we can go to figure out how to keep this from happening again. Because this is happening over and over and over again, whether it's a knife, a gun, or whatever it is, the bullying. Back in the day when I was a bully, we would just fight it out. But hello, this is not back in the day. You have the internet and all type of other peer pressure tools that are being used in today's time, and just fighting it out ain't enough now. Because people can take videos and alter them and do all sorts of things now to shame you and to humiliate you over and over again. And these things consequently can push a person over the edge and make them do things like murder, killing you, harming you in a way that you may not be able to recover and live a quality life. All these things can happen with the tools that the social media have in everybody's hands. But yet we have grown adult people, supposed to be responsible people like Megyn Kelly and Jason Whitlock. I got to put you in this too, even though you do say some things that add up that are true, and some of the things that you say are good. But the majority of things that you do and say and the antics that you are portraying mostly on your podcast are antics to me. They're clickbait. So people can continuously go to your YouTube page and keep clicking the button and the like buttons and everything that you guys are asking people to do after each video, and you monetizing. All these weirdos, I think it was some guys in Houston, 4 black guys in Houston. I forgot the name of your podcast, and I don't want to remember it. But you guys get on there like you're so concerned, talking down on the Anthony guy, on Karmelo Anthony. You're talking down on him. You're doing all of this rhetoric. Oh my God, I can't believe that he did this and did that. But you're not coming back with a video about the shooting at FSU. You're not monitoring the trial of the white kid that killed the Latino kid. You don't have no outrage for that. Why? Because it's not a great story for you. It's not something that you can make money off of. Because believe me, when you guys turn those cameras off, y'all don't give a jack shit about nobody. You go home and you go to your bed and you sleep like a baby. You don't care about Karmelo Anthony. You don't care about Austin Metcalf. You don't care about Austin Metcalf's parents. You don't care about the Anthony and the Hayes over there. You don't care about none of the people out here with these false lies, talking about the people buying a car and a Escalade, and by the comments and the things that I've been reading, a lot of you guys is apparent that has never had any type of money or success to even have some type of money in your hands to where you would understand that, you know what, $500,000 in this day and time is really not a lot of money. It really is not, especially when you have private investigators or investigators, lawyer fees, and all of these other things that goes with this, analysts, all of these people have to get paid. So there's no room for a person to sit around, oh my God, I got a $400,000. Let me go buy a brand new house and a $150,000 car. Really? Really? But we all screaming about equality. You got that guy Jake from the insurrection of January 6th that come out to Frisco and try to have a protest and thought he was going to rally up a whole bunch of white people, and they looked at him like he was crazy and nobody showed up. You know why they didn't show up? Because a lot of people are not going for the antics that you are calling out for them to join into. The father got on your ass on the phone and told you to take his son picture off that flyer, and he wasn't rocking with you, and you were so insensitive that you come back with, you are just creating another Austin Metcalf. This man just lost his son, and this is what you telling him. No compassion, no nothing. This cause is for you. You thinking that you're going to turn into the white Martin Luther the King, but you're not. More like Martin Luther the Fiend. That's what you look like, a total fool. And I don't even understand why Whitlock would even give you 2 minutes on the show. You were so extreme, Whitlock wouldn't even go with the shit that you was trying to say and trying to get him to pledge with and all of that thing. He totally sidestepped your ass when you came with that goofball shit. That's what he did. But we all on this internet. Everybody's on this internet. Podcasts, YouTubers, mainstream media. I can't say Megyn Kelly name enough because she's a total jerk. You really just riling people up and stirring the pot, but you are not trying to help the situation. You're not reporting fair and equality news. You're doing some shit to try to stir the pot. That's what you're doing. But you know what? Guess what? It's not really working. It's not really working. You know, and there's so many other people in the mainstream media with this whole one-sided situation, how you describe this man, even the way that you select the pictures to make him look like a villain off the muscle so people would not see the human side of this kid. Did Carmelo Anthony make a mistake. He made a very bad mistake that consequently could cost him his freedom. And if the courts decide that he's guilty of murder, then he needs to go to jail, just like everybody else. I'm not on here to be like, oh God, he's black, let him free. Free him, free him. He killed a dude, the dude shouldn't have touched him. Whatever the consequences are for that and the circumstances of the evidence when it is revealed and the indictment come back, if it comes back, and he goes to court and you find him guilty, then the due process has been done and he needs to go to jail, which he would be going straight to prison. There's no other way to look at that. But to come with all these erratic stories, all of these fake ass emotions that you guys are putting into these stories that you're telling, and I'm just shocked at all of these money grabbing black folk. One of my guys, I forgot what his name is too, man. He call them Sambos. I laughed my ass off when he like that. He had the Sambo today. Dude kind of look like Steph Curry. I forgot what his name is, but I follow you on me. So if this gets to you, man, just know I love what you're doing. Just money grabbing. Y'all guys are money grabbing. So you would turn and paint a picture of your own race, people in your own race, and make sure that you are describing them and reporting on them in a heinous type of way to make them look worse than the situation that they're already in. And when I see this, I'm just appalled. And it's not about being pro-black. To me, it's about equality. If you're going to do it for one person, do it for the other. If you're going to show a picture of Austin Metcalf with his football stuff on and he looking right, looking good, do the same thing with the other kid so everybody can see them in the same light. Because we really don't know what the circumstances of the evidence will be or what it is. We don't know if Austin Metcalf was a bully. We don't know none of this. We don't know if Karmelo Anthony was just a reckless guy with a knife in his bag. We don't know. We all human and people make bad decisions. I think both of these kids made bad decisions and they were putting themselves in a position of authority that they really didn't have. And that's what it is. And I don't understand why there's not enough staff around to keep their eyes on these kids at all times when we know that there have been multiple killings and fights and bullying and all sorts of violence that's been going on in our schools. But yet, Mr. Whitlock, you talk about black culture this, black culture that, rapper this, rapper that. Okay, where's the black culture for the FSU shooting? Where's the black culture for Allison up there in North Texas that's on trial right now for doing the same thing that Anthony did? Where's the black culture for that? Where's the rap music for that, sir? Where is it? There's no answer for that, right? You know why there's no answer for it? Because there isn't any. We want to downplay our own culture. Black culture is made of way more than rap music, my guy. Our culture expands very, very wide and really, really wider than music. But you guys want to pinhole our entire culture on rap music. I've been in rap music in the music industry over 30 years. My record is not clean, but I bet you one thing you won't find on there is me being arrested for any violence, me bringing violence to anybody. Because one, I wasn't raised that way, so I don't care what type of music, what type of rappers around me. I ain't standing for none of that. And I'm not going to stand behind it either. So you can't just sit here and try to blame all of this on rap culture, fam. Because I really been trying to find a rap song that encouraged somebody to go stab somebody because they're white. Or go beat them up because they're white, Mr. Jake. With them lies, I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that. For one thing about it, man, if it start being a serious, realistic problem with black people beating up white folks and putting them in the hospital and doing all of this, man, you know good and damn well, United States, they ain't gonna have that. They ain't gonna let us get to that place to where we think that we running shit and we putting a whole bunch of violence on white people. That ain't happening, man. Are you crazy? Man, they have so many task force and everything out here if they thought that was the case. But that's the picture you trying to paint. You want to march up and down the street like y'all not, like equality is not at y'all doorstep, at y'all footstool. Because it is. And everybody want to wonder, I don't know why everybody want to react to race and why the blacks, they, them, those, keep on reacting and seeing things with color instead of understanding that it's not really about that. You know why people doing that? Because that's how everybody's been raised. That's how all of the circumstances that go on in the United States every day, it's a black person somewhere experiencing some racism or experiencing some equality. And unfortunately, they act out. At the least bit of trouble coming their way, they're acting out because they don't want to take any more from nobody. White, green, yellow, whoever color. People are tired. And they're starting to react in a more robust way. Now they're reacting with money, with the internet, with a whole lot of other things. Now the stance that they're making is not so weak. But unfortunately, it don't feel good when you're seeing a whole bunch of people backing somebody that just killed someone either, does it? I know it don't. But that's the case that we're looking at. But there's been so many of us that's been thrown in jail that didn't even commit crimes, had horrible evidence, horrible cases in court, and still ate a whole case for nothing. And there's been a lot of us that's been brutally beaten up, killed, and other people's gotten away and been getting away. But now you guys are still petitioning, want the cop that was on George Floyd's neck, who I knew personally, and you want him out of prison. The court system spoke. It is what it is. That's what y'all tell us. The court system worked today, and yada yada got 1,000,000 years. He's not coming out. It is what it is. But all of this, unjust talking and how you change the circumstances when it comes to black and white, you guys got to take that. Y'all got to take some responsibility for that. Again, Allison had $1 million bond. His bond got reduced to $175,000, and he's been out of jail for 3 years, waiting to go to trial. I've never seen one podcast, YouTube, Miss Kelly, Megan Kelly, I haven't seen you saying one word about this man. The goofball that be on there talking about all the murders, I forgot what her name is. She's a goofball too. I don't hear y'all talking about this. Mr. Jake, Mr. January 6th, I don't hear you saying one word about that. Why you not up there having a rally for Rodriguez up there? Why you not having one for him? Why you not requesting that young man go back to jail and wait till his trial begin, which he's in trial now? But why you didn't do that? But when the same rules are applied to this black kid that committed the same crime, almost the same circumstances, where Allison admitted that he stabbed Rodriguez and Anthony admitted that he stabbed Metcalf. All of these things add up to the same thing. But when a judge offers a reduction on bond, on bail, everybody's just flabbergasted all of a sudden. We got a killer on the loose. This is a cold-blooded killer. This is all he does is kill. He's a gang member. He's this. He's been listening to rap music. What type of parents raised a man like this? But all of the kids that walked in these schools and killed innocent children and teachers over and over and over again. We ain't got nothing to say about that, right? We ain't got no words for that, right? We ain't got no outrage for it, do we? We're not talking about the culture that they lived in, are we? We're not asking what type of parents raised them, are we? Why would a sheriff's son go in FSU and shoot up people? We're not outraged about that, are we? We're not posting her address all over the internet. We're not sending, we can't swat her because she's a cop. But I ain't seeing none of that. And you wonder why the black race, we are screaming for equality when you see all of this? I don't want to waste my time talking about black and white. I have white friends everywhere. I grew up around white people. When I got, when I had to go to another school and we had to switch schools and all of that and be bussed out to different schools, that's when I got bused to a black school. I went to a pretty much predominantly white school my entire life. I had to endure some racism then. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't make me hate white people. I don't hate white people. And I'm sure a lot of black people do not hate white people. We hate the situation that we have to live with. We hate the bias that we see. That's what we hate. You want to mock a parent that's totally destroyed, one, because her son has killed somebody. And she has to deal with the rhetoric that come with it. Her whole family is suffering because of his actions, not something that she was involved in. So what do you mean? She's not supposed to speak out? Or she should be condemned and left in a corner to deal with it by herself? She shouldn't ask for people to help her with the legal fees that her family can't afford? They're not allotted that same situation that everybody else is allotted? Is that what we're saying? I'm just asking. Because the shit is hella weird to me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you guys, y'all get real brave on this internet. And y'all say a lot of reckless talking on this internet. But I guarantee you, a lot of you people with these crazy comments, a lot of you black podcasters and YouTubers with these ignorant ass topics that you own, you ain't going outside with that same energy. If somebody catch you up right now, if I catch one of you up right now, the four amigos from Houston, and I guarantee if I bump into one of y'all not gonna have that same energy. Y'all not gonna be talking like that. Y'all doing that for YouTube and doing it for clicks and likes and money. Y'all don't care nothing about nobody. Y'all don't care about no Austin Metcalf. Y'all don't care nothing about no Karmelo, Anthony. Y'all don't care about none of that. All y'all care about is that money coming in and views staying up so that you can monetize every single time you drop a video. That's why you're not going to talk about this Allison case. You're not concerned with this FSU shooter, the shooter that shot up his school in Dallas, the black kid. You don't want to talk about him either. So if you're going to hold everybody accountable, why you're not doing that? Because you're fake. Y'all are fake, man. And y'all just gave me a whole lot to talk about and really inspired me to really get in on this podcast and start talking that talk and really making observations that I'm making, man. You know, because I'm at the point now, I don't care what you think. You know what I'm saying? Y'all leave your comments below and let me know what you think about the subject matter and the outlook that I have on all of this stuff, man. Until then, I'll holler back at y'all later. And I'm going to do like they do. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the follow button ASAP and hit your alerts, because I will be very active on YouTube. All right? This is Mr. Lee. I'm out. 100.
Welcome to On the Track with Mr. Lee, the podcast where it's always going down.